Hey, what's going on, you all? These are your what to do instructions for a reading workshop one with Alice Walker. So, after you get done drafting your literary analysis essay, we're going to go into doing your reading workshop number one with Alice Walker, everyday use. So, this is what your agenda should feel like or look like for today. First, you should have already completed your two kinds literary analysis essay. You should have hit that submit button. If you haven't done that yet, go back and do it now because it is for a big major grade. I'm taking it for a summative grade. After that, I want you to either, your choice, you can either read everyday use without the audible support, or while you read everyday use, you can read it alongside with the audible support. For your first read of everyday use, I want you to focus on annotating for a model we're going to call SIFT, and I'll talk to you more about that later. And then you're going to do a second read, and then you're going to do a SIFT model. But all those things will be we will talk about, as we discuss how you execute on this worksheet, on this workshop today. First, before we get started, I think you got to know who Alice Walker is to really appreciate what she's writing. Alice Walker is a very prolific writer. She writes a lot of things about women and a lot of things about African Americans, but she specifically does something intersectionally where she talks about Black women a lot in her writings, and she has gained a lot of awards, a lot of attention for that. Um, she is best known for The Color Purple, which I don't know if you know that movie, came out with Whoopi Goldberg, Oprah Winfrey. Alice Walker wrote that book. The short story we're reading today is also penned by her, and I love this short story. I read it last year with my kids, and I think y'all appreciate it. So this is what you're gonna do. As you read everyday use, you're going to identify textual evidence to identify symbolism, imagery, and figurative language. When you annotate, you're going to jot down the citation along with the reference. And you're also going to do that for the theme. So, this is what it looks like. For symbolism, you're going to find a quotation within the text to you that might contain some type of symbolism. You're going to type it here and then put the chunk and then the line upon what you found it. In this particular PDF, you won't be able to see a chunk per se, so just put paragraph. Put the paragraph number for me. Imagery, right here, I gave you an example of imagery right here, and then you're going to give me two examples of imagery you can find in the text. Right here, I gave you an example of figurative language, and then you're going to give me two examples of figurative language. And right here, I do the same thing. I give you an example of textual evidence to me that supports the theme of this story. And then what I want you to do is give me two pieces of textual evidence that supports the theme of the story. Now what we're going to do, and this is going to be your exit ticket, and this is the final exercise for today. You are going to complete the SIFT, the SIFT chart, and making sure to include your textual evidence along with an analysis interpretation. So the whole idea is what you did up here should help you execute upon the exit ticket right here. So in this SIFT model, now what you're going to do is you're going to identify one instance from the text, and you're going to explain why it fits that category. So for instance, a symbol in the text is the television show which the narrator is watching at the beginning of the short story. So for each one of these other categories, you're going to identify an example from the text and explain why it's imagery, explain why it's figurative language, explain why it supports the theme. Then you're going to provide the actual textual evidence it falls underneath, and then you're going to explain to me why that textual evidence makes sense, like why that supports your finding. Pretty much this is the entire assignment. If you have any questions, don't hesitate to email me or reach out to me, and I'll try to get to you as soon as possible. Happy Tuesday, good people, and have a great day.